Attack podcast with myself, Daps. Guys, keep liking, subscribing, sharing, all of that good stuff. Football is really back, guys, man. I don't even have any transfer kind of news today. None of that. Super Cup. Super Cup was played today. I'm going to get straight into it. Super Cup was played today, Tottenham versus PSG. When I looked at the starting lineup and I saw PSG's midfield of Vitinha, Doué, and Zaire Emery, I said to myself, oof, coming up against Paulina, Bentancur, and Sarr with that energy, it might be a bit techie. And I've never seen Doué operate from, a three in midfield. Whether or not that's something that that they've done before, I've never seen. I just know him as a winger. But I saw Fabian Ruiz on the bench, and obviously Yao Neves. Yao Neves, got sent off in the Club World Cup final, so he couldn't play in this game. But when I saw it all, I was just like, in terms of when I saw it all play out from the get-go, PSG could not get their foot on the ball. And the energy that Tottenham was playing with, Bentancur, I keep telling people about Bentancur. I feel like now people are probably gonna, clock on to what I've been saying. Bentancur, he's such a good player. Such a good player. And I think when you get people like Paulina and Sarr next to him, and it's just dog work, absolute dog work. Don't give you any time on the ball, and he can play. Paulina can play. Sarr, but Bentancur, for me, he's their best midfielder. That's what I'm saying. On top of that, you got Kudus, who works so hard offensively and defensively. Kudus might be the strongest person in the Premier League. I'm not even joking. Kudus might actually be the strongest person in the Premier League. No matter how many people I see try to push him off the ball or whatever, it never happens. No one can push him off the ball. Akinfenwa, he might even be stronger than you. I've got to say it, because there were so many times in this game, and when I've seen him play previously, where people are just trying to push him. They're trying to get to the ball first. It's not happening. And even like his fast twitch muscles, his fast twitch fibers are ridiculous. Do you get what I'm saying? Like his burst of acceleration, the way he's able to, when it just looks like the ball's going to get away from him, he just quickly gets there and manages to wriggle his way out of situations. Yeah, Tottenham played really, really well. I cannot even lie to you. I think in that first half, especially, they were all over PSG. And it's amazing to see how when you disrupt that midfield of Vitinha, Neves, and Ruiz, and they can't get that control, it's amazing how different the team looks. Vitinha, as good as he is, he can't do it all by himself. The understanding that he has with his other two midfielders is second to none. And when you're putting Zaire Emery in there and Doué in there, it just doesn't hit the same. Especially when you're coming up against a midfield where their thing is to just, you got the ball. No, we're coming to get that. We're coming to get that ball. That's their thing. And then all over the park, it was just work. And PSG looked like a team that has, number one, played too much football recently, haven't really had much of a break. They've only, they only came back from pre-season last week. So they looked like a team that were finding their way, and nothing was really going well for them. In the first half, they didn't even get a shot on target. Whilst I think Tottenham might have had like 3, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just watching Tottenham get their losers medals now. Yes. So when they scored, when Tottenham scored, it was well deserved. The better chances had gone to them. The better performances, were from Tottenham players. And I was there as an Arsenal fan, obviously. I was there just thinking, oh my gosh, Tottenham are really going to do this, aren't they? But then I was like, second half, it might be a different story, And then obviously Romero goes and scores, and at 2-0, with the way PSG were playing, I couldn't really see a way back for PSG. They made changes. Fabian Ruiz was a really, really good change to make. Let me also... the one that scored, is it Lee? The one that scored as well. Let me just make sure I get his name right. Yeah, Lee. Um, they made massive changes. And Lee, do you know what? I saw Lee a couple times in the Champions League last season, but he looked like a really good player that can get on the ball and do a bit. Do you get what I'm saying? And him and Fabian Ruiz made massive difference, and it allowed Vitinha to again start, dictating again and getting the ball and getting on the ball. I think what helped as well in terms of PSG is the fact that Tottenham dropped right off. They couldn't get high up the pitch and they were boxed in. So once PSG got their goal, their second goal, once PSG got their first goal, it was like, let's see this onslaught coming on. And when I saw 6 minutes of added time, I knew that was enough, man. And you just got to stay so switched on, like, for the entirety of the game when you're playing against PSG, because the movement is stupid. It's stupid movement. And, we saw Dembele just peel off, put that cross in. Ramos goes in and puts it in. And Van de Ven switched off. He switched off for a moment. Obviously, tired heads, tired legs. And they got it back to 2-2. And then, from there, I was just like, wow. And obviously, all of these games, they all go into penalty shootout now. They're all penalty shootout, no extra time. So I'm like, Tottenham are probably still going to win this. Even though I do not want Tottenham to win it, no matter how good they play. I do not want Tottenham to win. And, penalties. Vitinha missed the first penalty, by the way. Like, what was that? And, when Van de Ven missed his penalty, I was like, okay, cool. Tell missed his penalty. I was like, cool. And then, obviously, PSG went and won it. So, PSG were out of sorts, though. And if they're honest, if they're honest and people are honest, that they will say that PSG got really lucky. PSG got really lucky today, and but they won't care. They won. Some might say they're not as. Look at them lifting the trophy right now. Yeah. PSG got lucky, man, and some might say they've been back from pre-season a week, not really had much rest, and all that matters is that you lift the trophy, but they got lucky. And Tottenham, if I'm being honest, man, watching that Tottenham performance, as well as what I've seen, little bits against Newcastle, against Arsenal, obviously, they look like, they're really settling into Thomas Frank's way of playing. They look very, like, what's the word I'm looking for? They look very good out of possession. Let me say that. Defensively, the structure was just ridiculous during the game in a good way for them. They look like they've got that threat going forward as well. You've got Kudus, you've got Richarlison, even though I'm not really, he works hard, but, I'm not really a massive fan of Richarlison, to be fair. But, Jed Spence as well. Listen, Jed Spence, man, he's a good fullback. He's a very, very good fullback. And no matter which defender came up against him today, he had their number. He had their number, man. And I'm really happy, like, for Jed Spence, like, with the fact that he's able to, the way his Tottenham career started, it looked like he had no future there, to now being one of the first names on the team sheet. And I'm really, really happy for him because he had a very, 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 very good game. And do you know what? The history books will show that PSG won the Super Cup, but anyone that watched it will know that they deserve to win that, if I'm being honest. They deserve to win that. Or, did they deserve to win? Because there's a game of two halves. Okay, but if they had won, no one would have said they didn't deserve it, basically. So, so shout out PSG. And if Tottenham do go out and get Eze as well, as it's being reported, listen, Tottenham are going to be a problem. Especially now that Maddison's out there looking for another creative midfielder. If they do go and go out and get Eze, that's a very, very good buy for them. And as an Arsenal fan, this whole Eze stuff is really annoying because, listen, go out and just get the player that you need. If Tottenham come and take Eze from under your feet, from your grasp, when you know Eze wants to come to you, then you have to really just look at yourself and look at what you're really trying to achieve. It's going to be hard enough as it is, even with the current squad you've got. So don't make it any harder for yourself. Just go out and get the player you need. Because if Tottenham get him, from what I'm seeing, that's problems. That is absolute problem. And I think he will play really, really well in that team. Really, really well. Look at the way I'm speaking. He will play really, really well in that team. So go out and get a player that you know is good enough to play Champions League and you know would improve our squad. Easy. Just go and get it. Let's see who else is. Let's see what else is going on. Obviously, Isak handing in handing in transfer request, saying he's not playing again for Newcastle. What I have to say about that, is that it's similar to like people that work traditional 9-to-5 jobs and work for a company. When the company's ready to get rid of you, there's never any issues. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, no one ever says anything bad. No one ever calls out a company. The moment you want to leave a company, you got to do it all correct and you got to do it properly, and you're the bad guy for wanting to leave them. I do believe that there's a way to do things, but unfortunately, companies, they don't always act in the best ways. So I think if Newcastle were to turn around before any of this with any player and be like, we don't want you, we're going to get rid of you, we're going to force you to play with the reserves, we're just going to sell you. No one, it just happens every day in football. But Isak coming out and saying he wants to leave, people have a massive problem with. And I think what the problem is the manner in which it's done. The whole, I'm refusing to train, I'm not playing for your club again. I think that is the issue, the whole going on strike thing. It's never right whenever anyone does it, regardless if there is a gentleman's agreement that you can leave the club or not. But at the end of the day, it would have just been good if he handed in his transfer request and, done it amicably. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's that going on strike, saying he's not going to play. It's not really the greatest. It doesn't look the greatest, but at the same time, I'm not really going to sit here and say that he's absolutely wrong for doing it, because like I said, when the club wants to get rid of a player, no matter how they do it, no one calls out the club, really. Do you get what I'm saying? So it happens both ways. But the media want to paint Isak as the proper wrong one right now. And yes, I do think that players shouldn't really go on strike and stuff like that. You could say you want to leave 100% and try to figure out a way to do that. But the whole going on strike and coming out publicly and saying what he's saying to basically force a move, I'm not really with that. Do you know what I'm saying? But we'll see how that ends. It's only a matter of time, I think, before he actually gets to Liverpool. So, yeah. Am I recording this? I think I pressed the red button. It'll be very awkward if I'm not recording this. Right, let's see Fabrizio. Liverpool have signed Giovanni Leone, 18-year-old centre-back, one for the future. Ousmane Dembele got man of the match for the Super Cup. Should he have been man of the match? I don't think he should have been, but he got it. This whole Donnarumma stuff, yeah. It's looking like Donnarumma's going to go to Manchester City. And for me, I'm just wondering, where did this all come from? Donnarumma looked like, obviously, it's probably the whole contract situation. Them either not paying him what he wants or him just not wanting to sign a new contract. But it's interesting that he's going to be gone, and it looks like he's going to go to Manchester City, man. And if he does go to Manchester City, that would be a very, very good buy, and further strengthen my case for saying that I can't remember a window where all the big boys, like in terms of the top Premier League clubs, all have made numerous high-level signings. Normally you get one team here and there making a signing, and then the other team just do a little bit of business, but one team will always make a marquee signing. But the top teams are really going in with the transfers in bulk. So it's going to be a very exciting season we'll see. So if Donnarumma does go there to Man City, then that just the amount of players coming to the Premier League is frightening. 1 second. I'm just seeing what's going on. Matt O'Reilly, keen on Juventus move. Okay. Wow. Matt O'Reilly is actually a very, very good player, man, and the one that Brighton signed from Celtic. And it's looking like he might be going to Juventus. And if that does happen, that would be very, very interesting. Because he's actually a good player. And I think once he came back from his injury and got settled in, he became a very important player for them. But obviously, Juventus want him as a direct replacement for Douglas Luiz if he goes. Yeah, look at that. Donnarumma's agent. Premier League is the right step for GGO, in my view. We're working on it. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I think that's about it really for me. But yeah, guys, let me know what you thought about the final. Let me know if you felt like Tottenham, deserved to win that. Let me know if Tottenham bottled it. 2 goals in the last 10 minutes ain't the best, but fair play to PSG. They didn't stop, and when it's all said and done, they're going home with the trophy. So big up, you guys. Subscribe, like, and share, and all of that stuff. And we are out.